Welcome back, everyone, to our wonderful podcast, Short and Sweet, Inside the Mind of Revenue Managers. I am very happy to be joined today by Gabriela Ross, who is a revenue manager at Skytop Lodge in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. Gabriela, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
We had a wonderful pre-chat, and I'm very excited for you to share your story because you got a really cool trajectory. So let's start with the first question. How did you get into hospitality? And tell me about your current role at Skytop Lodge.
All right. So my current role, I'm working at Skytop Lodge as a revenue manager. I've been here for about 11 years. I must say it's not a boring position. It's actually really exciting. I come to work and every day is really different. So it's working with numbers. The numbers look really different every day. However, but besides that, we have really beautiful property, 5,500 acres, but the scenery is just stunning every day. So coming to Skytop is, for me, is a treat in a way. It feels like, having a joy every day, not just coming to work. So, I have an interesting story coming to becoming a revenue manager. I have been in revenue management for almost, I would say, 20 years, even though I have started as a waitress. I was actually I was waiting tables when I was a student down in New Jersey, South Jersey. So during my student years, I was a waitress. That's how I was making my side money. And the owners of the restaurant down in South Jersey, they basically have been partnering with real estate investors in Philadelphia. And the interesting story was that I was studying to be web designer and networking administrator, and they were opening up a small boutique hotel, and they asked me if I was interested in making their website as an intern. I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a great opportunity. It was for such a little money, but I was so excited because way back then it was kind of my first job, and I was hoping it's going to open a door for me. So so I have created a website. It took me about 8 months, obviously. After I got all the information I needed, it was kind of stressful because it was a small boutique hotel. It was an actual business that's going to run. And I have submitted a website. It was working. The boutique hotel sales had been open for another year and a half. So then a lot of adjustment had to happen. That's how I stayed in touch with them while I was still finishing up and waiting tables. And then one day they called me and they asked me if I would be interested in working for them as a admin in one of their offices, helping out to basically present contracts and rent their apartments, because they had about 600 apartments in Philadelphia. So I was really interested even more about that. So I went for it, and I became a full-time assist between several buildings they owned. So I was doing that for about 2 years until they actually got that boutique hotel running. And then they moved me to the boutique hotel as a kind of innkeeper, because they had only 15 rooms. So they didn't feel like giving me management title yet because I wasn't in charge of management. But as I hired staff and as I kind of proved myself and kept on growing the business, because we only started with 15 rooms, but then I worked for them another 8 years. And we have grown weddings. We have grown wedding business, and we have also opened up a restaurant on side. It was really beautiful, small hotel. It's still there. It's called the Morris House Hotel in downtown Philly. They no longer own it, but it has a beautiful garden and still restaurant. So I work for them, and then obviously I became a hotel manager. And this was I started for them 2003, and then worked my way all the way to 2011 with them. And the last year, they have asked me, because I was moving away from Philadelphia to Pocono Mountains. So they asked me if I would still be interested in working remotely for them for the year while I had my son and my newborn, and was in charge of marketing and revenue management, which was kind of way back then, 2009, 2008 introduced. That's when the hospital, it was kind of really like fully adhering to revenue management. So obviously I didn't know much about it, but I was studying it. I took certifications through Cornell University and kept on going, to kind of gain master through Cornell University. So I have a full master in revenue management. Obviously, so many things do change throughout the years, and the technology changes too. So it's been fun. It's been nice long ride, but worth it.
Yeah, no kidding. Congratulations. And a master's at Cornell. I'm looking at Cornell for a certificate myself right now in financial
Yeah.
leadership. So it seems to be a common theme I find is once you end up in hospitality, people don't usually leave that industry.
It's just so funny, right? How it all works out, because since I waited tables, I just had a long ride through, hotel management to, obviously revenue
Yeah,
management. And I must say that the hotel management, even though I was working for a small hotel, I was overseeing front desk, housekeeping, the restaurant. I had about 35 people under me. And it really gave me huge insight. And I think today, because of that, it really makes me a better revenue manager because I understand all different aspects of different jobs.
I'm sure, completely. And you and I also share a similarities that we both are mechanical engineers by training. So
That's
we
right.
like numbers. Yes, we talked about this beforehand. We don't need to go into that, but I just thought I'd put that out there, is that you're an engineer.
It is. I am an engineer. Yeah. I engineered. I have graduated back in Czech Republic when I was born and raised. So my degree is from mechanical engineering, and way back then I was part of auto industry and kind of like building or suggesting motors, and it was a lot of fun.
And here we are in the Pocono Mountains as a revenue manager. Beautiful. Well, let me ask you another question there. Are there any ways you're experimenting with AI or Skytop Lodges, whether in guest experience, operations, or you yourself in your role in revenue management?
So obviously, AI is very on top of the mind for everybody. The hoteliers, the hotels, it's technology, it's upcoming, or it's already here, I would say. We do use revenue management system, the RMS, that is a really AI. It can throw out any result that it thinks is the right result. However, I really feel that we still need to be over it to kind of oversee what it does, what it spits out, and to manage it that way. In numbers, obviously the revenue management system uses AI, so that's what I manage. I not always allow the results it recommends. I mostly override them because it's not most of the time right. But the more I override, the more better results it gives me. And train in that way, then I'm more and more satisfied with the results, but there's still a lot of management.
Yes. Well, bonus question that is not in this, but on this topic. I was speaking to somebody yesterday who just went to DARM, and they said that there was a whole topic around AI, because obviously AI is everywhere right now. And somebody said within a couple of years, there will be no more revenue managers because the AI will run fully the revenue management side. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I believe that revenue managers might get different titles, right?
Yes.
The revenue manager doesn't need to be a revenue manager, but it could be. I don't know. It could be. We could analytically view all the numbers, and then we should be strategists more so than revenue managers, right? I think that's what my role is, that I strategize a lot to get us where we need to be to achieve our goals and exceed our goals. But the revenue managers are not the typical revenue managers that they were, let's say, 5-10 years ago anymore. I think you also need to have a good rapport with your with your coworkers to be able to do what you need to do, because you cannot do it by yourself, right? You need people to execute what you put out there. So it's really 365 cycle. It's not just about revenue managers. So yeah, I think we should get different titles, because I don't really feel revenue manager is the right title. I think we optimize our revenues, right? So
Revenue strategist.
optimizations,
I
revenue
completely
strategists.
agree with you.
Yeah.
Completely agree with you. I have the same view. Okay, final question, and in some ways my favorite one. If I were to give you a magic wand to fix one challenge with how your properties are sold or distributed today, what would you fix first?
That would be a huge magic wand, I
Yes,
would say,
yes,
right?
it's a magic wand.
So yeah, it's a tough one because the list is long. But I think one of the best priorities or gifts or whatever, I think is technology. Really today, technology, I feel like nothing works together. The way the customer is expecting to book everything that it needs, there's still a lot of connectivity missing. And I feel it in other hotels the same, but if I talk about Skytop Lodge, yes, that we definitely have a lot of opportunity in connecting loose ends through technology. It's book different departments, so everything is on one booking. And I think technology is definitely one of the challenge that I think the hospitality needs, and it's not there yet.
So the central PMS that connects absolutely everything in a seamless way that brings everything together in an easy way.
I think it's I think it's in front of the customer, how they book their experience throughout booking journey. So they're not only booking rooms, but they're also booking experience at the same time.
Yeah.
I believe that in-person phone calls are very important also, and our customer is a perfect example of how important it is. But those that are more technology based or more online based, we don't have that kind of experience for them right now, but working on it. It's a continuous progress. But yeah, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge.
Yes. Yes, that's a big challenge. You went right to the core of the technology challenge in the industry. Well,
yeah.
Gabriela, thank you so much for sharing your story and your thoughts and for being on the podcast, and have a great end of your day and a good weekend.
Excellent. Thank you for having me.